The city breeze in silver light, cold on the glass, warm in your eyes. I learned the winter's only loud when no one's standing close around. The streets are aching just like me for something they remember faintly. But in the quiet of your hands, the world makes sense again. I don't need the heat of summer glow. I feel it when you're close. There's oxytocin in the snow tonight, in every breath between you and I. The cold gets soft, the dark gets slow, and hearts remember what they know. There's oxytocin in the snow, in every touch we won't outgrow. The world is loud, but here I know there's oxytocin in the snow. I stopped waiting for a sign, stopped turning love to prove I'm fine. Some miracles don't shake the sky, they just feel warm when you walk by. I used to think that safety lied somewhere beyond my open life, but now it waits in simple things like the sound your breathing brings. I don't chase what I can hold, I don't need the sun to feel the gold. There's oxytocin in the snow tonight, in every breath between you and I. The cold gets soft, the dark gets slow, and hearts remember what they know. There's oxytocin in the snow, in every touch we won't outgrow. The world is loud, but here I know there's oxytocin in the snow. Then chemistry just saved me. If warmth is built from moment to moment, then this one is holy. There's oxytocin in the snow tonight, and every fear that loosens its grip, and every tired soul that finds a place to finally rest a bit. There's oxytocin in the snow. I don't need more than this to know, no matter how the cold may grow. There's oxytocin in the snow. Not magic connection. I learned the language of the dark, where silence answers every why. I wore my scars like constellations, just to remember I'm alive. The world was loud with broken promises, my doubt was louder than my name. But somewhere under all the noise, a softer truth inside me stayed. I'm not the girl I used to hide, I'm not the echo of their fear. I found a door inside the storm, and I'm already standing here. Still I shine, not for the crowd, not for the throne, not for the crown. Still I shine when no one knows, in quiet rooms, in heavy snow. Still I shine, not to be seen, but 'cause the light is part of me. Even after all this time, still I shine. I made a home from broken prayers and built my calm from chestnut slow. I stopped betraying my own shadow just to be loved by someone else. I chose myself without an audience. No roses, no applause, just me and truth at candlelight, signing peace with who I was. I'm not the voice that begged for depth, I am the depth I wish to find. I'm not a question anymore, I am the answer taking time. Still I shine through quieter dreams, through softer nights and sharper means. Still I shine in open hands, in letting go of older plans. Still I shine, not made of gold, but something warmer, something whole. Even after all this time, still I shine. If light survives inside a wound, then darkness was a teacher too. If love returns when pride is gone, then falling taught me how to move. I don't need saving, I don't need proof, I don't need noise to feel my truth. I walk with wonder, not with fear. The universe is quiet here. I was never lost, I was becoming. I was never weak, I was learning where to stand. Still I shine without defense, without the mask, without pretense. Still I shine, not loud, not fast, but deeper than the years I've passed. Still I shine, and so do you. If you can feel what I went through, even after all this time, still we shine. No thunder needed for this flame, no permissions for this name. The softest stars outlive the night. Still I shine. Snow on my sleeves, but fire in my chest. The world felt quiet, I stayed obsessed with breathing slow through frozen days, with finding light in quieter ways. They said, be careful, don't feel too much, but numbness never kept me alive. I learned the storm by heart and taught it how to be kind. I don't run from the cold tonight, I let it teach me how to burn. Wild winter heart still beating loud under the ice, under the doubt. Wild winter heart, I didn't fall apart, I just grew fur around my scars. Wild winter heart, I chose to stay, I chose to feel, I chose my way. Let the snow do what it wants to do. My wild winter heart is warm and true. days with lonely nights. No hero came, no sudden sign, just me deciding not to break. I stitched my hope with shaking hands and wore it as escape. I don't beg the sky for mercy now. I build my own warm ground. Wild winter heart still beating loud under the ice, under the doubt. Wild winter heart, I didn't fall apart, I just grew fur around my scars. Wild winter heart, I chose to stay, I chose to feel, I chose my way. Let the snow do what it wants to do. My wild winter heart is warm and true. If I survive the quiet season, I won't be scared of louder days. If I can love inside the winter, then spring is only on its way. Wild winter heart, hear how it goes through silent streets and alley glows. Wild winter heart, this is my art, to stay alive, to stay in heart. Wild winter heart, I'm still here, breathing courage through the fear. Let the snow do what it wants to do. My wild winter heart is warm and true, not frozen. Forged. There's a house in my mind with warm yellow light. No headlines, no wars, just the truth in the night. I go there when the world tries to make me small, when the noise gets heavy and the answers don't call. I don't need permission to rest in a place I designed with my chest. In the house in my mind, I am safe, I am whole. No one sells me a fear, no one taxes my soul. In the house in my mind, I remember my name. Even storms take their shoes off when they come in this place. Ooh. I put books on the fear, I hung hope on the wall. I forgave who I was and who I'm not at all. There's a chair for my doubt, there's a bed for my pain. I don't kick them outside, I invite them to stay. 'Cause running was old survival, staying is new control. In the house in my mind, I am safe, I am whole. No one sells me a fear, no one taxes my soul. In the house in my mind, I remember storms take their shoes off when they come in this peace. If I can build a shelter in thought, then I am never truly lost. If I can keep my inner flame, then storms don't get to pick my name. In the house in my mind, I grow quiet and strong. I don't chase, I don't beg, I just gently belong. In the house in my mind, even time slows down. This is mine, not for sale. This is my sacred ground. No walls outside, but inside a kingdom. They taught the world the loud is strong, that only fire can lead you on. But I watched oceans shape the shore, never screaming, always sure. I wore my silence like a crown, no sharpened words, no burning sound. And somehow still the ground would move each time I chose not to prove. I don't arrive with warning signs, I change the room with quieter lines. Soft is not weak, calm is not gone, gentle doesn't mean I don't carry storms. Soft is not weak, it's the deepest flame. I don't break the world, I rearrange. I laid my armor down in light, stop turning fear into a fight. I learned the weight of open hands is stronger than command. Roots grow slow beneath the stone, no one hears them, still they hold. And when the storm forgets my name, I'm standing in the rain. I don't need to dominate to decide my fate. Soft is not weak, calm is not gone, gentle doesn't mean I don't carry storms. Soft is not weak, it's the deepest flame. I don't break the world, I rearrange. Power must always shout, why does truth feel quiet? If strength must always wound, why does love survive it? The hardest thing I ever learned was staying kind with claws, and that was when I realized who the real danger was. Soft is not weak, it's controlled fire, it's steady hands that never tire. Soft is not weak, it's a silent rain. I don't conquer the world, I rearrange. I rearrange. Feel crowds, no lights, no open stage, just candles, smoke, and quiet faith. I signed my name inside the dark on every dream I tore apart. I didn't swear it to the sky, no witnesses, no alibi, just me deciding not to bend to who I was, to how it ends. I'm growing where no one's clapping now. I'm learning faith without a sound. Promises I keep in secret last the longest in the end. What I whisper to my future never breaks and never bends. I don't need the world to see it, I don't need them to believe it. Promises I keep in secret build the life I live. I let the loud applause go by, learned how to choose a quieter sky. Some battles only make you small, some wins don't look like wins at all. I broke the mirror, kept the truth, stop rehearsing what I lose. I walk with fear but don't obey, I let it talk, I choose my way. I don't announce what I become, I let the silence do the work. Promises I keep in secret last the longest in the end. What I whisper to my future never breaks and never bends. I don't need the world to see it, I don't need them to believe it. Promises I keep in secret build the life I live. Promises I keep in secret outrun every open doubt. What I whisper to my future turns into the life I'm in now. I don't need the world to see it, I don't need them to believe it. Promises I keep in secret are the truth I'm living out. No parade, no disguise, just a life that kept its vows. I used to leave when the quiet grew, pack my fear and call it truth. Every storm was a sight to run, every shadow a loaded gun. But the cold came and closed the door, and there was nowhere else but where I was before. So I sat with the ache and learned its name, and the dark didn't feel the same. I thought survival was the art of escape, but winter showed me a different way. Winter taught me how to stay when every instinct said away, how to breathe inside the freeze, how to bend without breaking me. Winter taught me how to stay, not every leaving is brave. Some roots grow deepest under snow, and that's the only way they know. I stopped waiting for the thaw, stopped turning pain into a war. I learned the rhythm of slow repair, how to sit with unanswered prayers. I let the silence hold my hands, I let the days unfold their plans, and in the stillness I could feel what was breaking, what was real. but staying taught me how to survive. Winter taught me how to stay when every instinct said away. How to breathe inside the freeze, how to bend without breaking me. Winter taught me how to stay. Not every leaving is brave. Some roots grow deepest under snow, and that's the only way they know. If I can live without escape, then fear no longer names my fate. If I can stay when I could run, then I've already won. Winter taught me how to stay through the long and quiet days, how to trust what I can't see, how to be my own relief. Winter taught me how to stay, and I'm still here anyway. Some souls don't bloom in golden light, they grow in the longest nights, not frozen. I kept searching for the bars, for the lock, for the guard. Thought the walls were everywhere, thought the weight was in the air. I blame the rooms, I blame the years, I blame the ghosts, I blame the fears. But every door I tried to move was standing open to the truth. I ran the maze inside my chest till I got tired of running from myself. The trap was a feeling, not the ground, not the ceiling, not the street, not the night, not the dark, not the light. The trap was a feeling that I learned how to outgrow. Now my fear doesn't tell me which way I can go. I wore my doubt like evidence, called my hesitation sense, mistook my caution for my fate, let almost end at every gate. I thought the past had tied my hands, that time was running all the plans, but time was only passing by, waiting on my yes. So I broke the mirror, not the chain, and everything began to change. The trap was a feeling, not the ground, not the ceiling, not the street, not the night, not the dark, not the light. The trap was a feeling that I learned how to outgrow. Now my fear doesn't tell me which way I can go. If freedom starts inside a breath and fear was just the language of the self. If I can name what isn't real, then I can choose what I will feel. The trap was a feeling, now the feeling is gone. I don't ask for permission to keep moving on. The trap was a feeling, now I walk through the space where my doubt used to stand. There is air, there is grace, no key, just ground. No cage, just ground. I used to burn just to be seen, turn every feeling in a flame. Thought the louder that I lived, less I'd feel the weight of pain. Every spark a little warm, every dream a wild demand. I mistook the heat for life till it slipped through my hands. I was running on pure desire. Now I move with a steadier wire. I learned to rest in the fire, not get swallowed by the spark. Hold the heat without the hunger, hold the light without the dark. I learned to rest in the fire, let it warm me, not consume. I don't turn my heart to ashes just to prove I can bloom. I stopped chasing every storm, stop confusing noise with truth. I learned how to keep my edge without bleeding my youth. Now my strength arrives in waves, not in wreckage, not in flames. I don't need to scorch the ground to leave my name. I don't run on empty thunder, I move on a quieter wonder. I learned to rest in fire, not get swallowed by the spark. Hold the heat without the hunger, hold the light without the dark. I learned to rest in fire, let it warm me, not consume. I don't turn my heart to ashes just to prove I can bloom. If power needs destruction, it was never truly strong. If passion needs self-erasure, to learn the language wrong. The deepest blaze I've ever known is the one I don't display. It burns in patience, breath by breath, it lights my way. I learned to rest in fire, now I walk without the rush. I still carry all the heat, but I move it with a hush. I learned to rest in fire, now the flame knows who I am. I don't fear my own becoming, I don't fear the strength I am. Now I kept waiting for the ground to fall, for every hope to hit a wall. Read danger in the calm between, every almost, every in between. I learned the weather of my fear better than the truth right here. But the sky didn't break this time, it only changed its mind. I believed in worst case scenes so well, I forgot that life can fail to fail. Tomorrow is already kind, even if today's still hard to hold. There's a softer road behind the line of everything I've been told. Tomorrow is already kind, even if I can't see the signs. I don't need the map tonight. Tomorrow is already kind. I stopped counting every loss, stopped asking what the future calls. I set my worry on the floor and walked past it to the door. Not every shadow means a fall, not every silence hides a wall. Some doors just open when you breathe and let yourself believe. I don't need to solve the sky, I just need to keep my eye. Tomorrow is already kind, even if today's still hard to hold. There's a softer road behind the line of everything I've been told. Tomorrow is already kind, even if I can't read the signs. I don't need the proof tonight. Tomorrow is already kind. ignoring scars they couldn't tell. Thought all my silence meant I lost. Thought every ache had paid its cost. But I was learning how to bend, how to survive without an end. While they were watching for the crash, I was turning pain to ash. You mistook my quiet for defeat, while I was choosing who to be. I didn't break, I became. I didn't burn, I changed my flame. What you call the end of me was where I learned my symmetry. I didn't break, I became. I didn't drown, I learned the waves. Every scar you try to name is how I rose, not how I fell. I didn't break, I became. I stopped surviving out of spite, stopped trying to be hard to fight. I made a truce with who I was, found my power wasn't loud. No more mirrors made of doubt, no more living underground. I took the weight off every lie and walked into my own sky. You thought my patience meant delay, but I was timing my own way. I didn't break, I became. I didn't burn, I changed my flame. What you call the end of me was where I learned my symmetry. I didn't break, I became. I didn't drown, I learned the waves. Every scar you try to name is how I rose, not how I fell. I didn't break, I became. If survival only hardens the skin, then what protects the heart within? If strength is built from empty wars, then why does peace feel stronger still? I didn't sharpen every blade, I learned the craft of staying whole. And that's the part you'll never take, no matter how the story's told. I didn't break, I became. I didn't fade, I changed my shade. What you called my quiet fall was how I learned to stand up tall. I didn't break, I became. I didn't lose, I rearranged. Every scar that bears my name is proof that I am not the same. I didn't break, I became. Just illusion. I didn't wake up fearless today, didn't wash the doubt away. Some shadows still know my name, some aches still feel the same. But I learned that light doesn't wait for the heart to be okay. It just appears in the cracks where you start to stay. I don't need perfect skies to let the morning rise. I sparkle even now, with the weight still on my ground. Even bruised, even tired somehow. I sparkle even now, not because I won the fight, not because I found out how, but because I didn't disappear. I sparkle even now. I don't pretend cold is gone, I just stopped calling it wrong. Some winters teach you how to glow without demanding summer's tone. I stopped waiting to be bright, stopped bargaining with the night. Now I let my heartbeat glow at its own small height. I don't need the storm to end to feel the warmth inside my chest. I sparkle even now with the dust still on my crown, even slow, even breaking down. I sparkle even now, not because the scars are gone, not because I made some vow, but because I stayed. I sparkle even now. If light only comes when the world makes sense, then darkness owns too much of this. But if I can shine without a reason why, then hope was never a compromise. I sparkle even now when the